Now, I will explain about the introduction to investment planning. The commitment of present resources or money with the prospect of getting additional resources in the future is referred to as an investment. We invest to make money in order to increase our well-being, financial stability, emergency reserve, financial objective, and secure retirement. Now, we have several options to invest our money and watch it grow. In other words, there are several investment options in the market. As Muslim, our investment must be Islamic. They must not include interest or usury, gambling, alcohol, pork, or traditional insurance. There are several types of investment planning. The first one is saving account. Second, fixed deposit account or time deposit. Third, shares. Fourth, bonds. Fifth, real properties. And the last one is unit trust. Okay, let we continue with the purpose of investment planning. When we include an investment plan in our financial plan, it helps us to think about our financial future goals and objectives. The kind of lifestyle we want to live in the future will influence the type of investment portfolio that will meet our financial goals. This helps us see our goals in a more holistic way.
Next, we go to the part of important in investment planning. Firstly, investment preparation may assist boost earning. Most individuals think it is better to save money than invest it. Most individuals believe it because they fear losing money since investments are risky. However, depending entirely on saving for their future financial plan is not a good idea. Particularly in the present period when the cost of living is rising so rapidly, having an investing strategy may help a person expand their income from a higher rate of return. Buying share at a lower price and selling it at a higher price is the terrific investment. With smart investment planning, consumers may enhance their liquidity and gain trust in the investing market. Secondly, investing helps reach financial objective. Everyone has a financial goal. Some people wish to pay off their debt before retirement to be financially dependent. Inflation and the economic crisis have weakened people's purchasing power, making it harder and stressful to fulfill financial objectives. Investing is a strategy that may help individuals generate a larger income in the long term, and many investments are liquid, meaning they can be easily converted into cash in emergency time. Investing may help a person reach their short and long-term financial objectives. Most people may utilize investing platform to reach their financial goals. Bonds, stock, and tabung haji saving account are the option for investing. Thirdly, investment planning beat inflation. Inflation erodes buying power. This occurs when supply can keep up with the demand, causing price to rise. In Malaysia, the average annual inflation rate is 3%. Moreover, growing inflation might reduce a person's income, which can harm their daily life, particularly in financial. To combat inflation, investment preparation is a key. Most bank saving account investment don't offer a high enough interest rate to outpace inflation. To guarantee that our saving investment may grow modestly over time, the inflation rate must be lower than the income after tax, which is normally untenable from the bank lower interest on saving investment. Fourthly, investment planning can help in the time of emergency. Unexpected emergency may be costly. It might be an accident, illness, job loss, or being forced to live in a rental home. Effective investment is required to address the resulting financial crisis. Investing sooner to make their money grow may also help them to understand their financial commitment. Thus, investment planning may help individuals spend their liquid assets wisely. They will utilize funds to cover an unanticipated cost. Investing is the key to save money for the future.
Next, we go to current issues of investment planning. We will talk about the first current issue. The Ukraine conflict with Russia on February 24, 2022 was investors' worst fear. It didn't benefit the economy since other countries adapted to COVID-19. Many investors saw 2022 as the start of the global economy's recovery. The battle began early in 2022 and shows no indications of ending soon. So, investors are cautious with their portfolios. With raw materials increasing in value and their quantity being aggressively tightened, many investors believe the globe is facing a recession. With economic activity falling as a result of the war, the stock market experienced turbulence and created high volatility on stock prices. Many investors are evaluating war's impact on the stock market when investors were seeking to put their money into safer assets, which is gold. Even though Malaysia is remote from the Ukrainian-Russian conflict, it will affect many Malaysian investors' portfolios when the first missile strikes Ukrainian land. Russia and Ukraine's oil and gas industries are major contributors to Europe. This makes it tougher for European countries to extract oil and gas using machines. As raw materials are expensive, this will affect other nations. The domino effect will reach Malaysia, raising commodity prices and causing inflation. The battle generates economic uncertainty and will make investors, especially Malaysians, nervous. People fear losing more money in the stock market, making it more hazardous. Secondly, this pandemic makes Malaysians rethink their investment strategy. Ever since the COVID-19 struck the country of Malaysia, Malaysians were worried with their investment strategy as they could not work during the lockdown. According to a survey, about 85% of Malaysian investors have spent most of their time checking their investments and planning a strategy to utilize the utmost of their knowledge to their financial well-being. Schroders, in its study entitled Schroders Global Investor Study 2021, came to the following conclusion that Malaysians had an activity up to 52% of checking their investments weekly. According to Schroder, there were 58% of people that saved according to their plans, a total of 28% that saved more than they anticipated, and another 50% that did not perform well for their savings and had less savings than before.
Today, I am going to talk about the statistical information of investment plan. The table beside me is to show how much have Russia exports their product into Malaysia. According to the Minister of Trade and Industry, MITI, Russia and Malaysia was working together on a joint venture called Malaysia-Russia Commission for Economics, Scientific, Technical and Cultural Cooperation, which main goals were to help develop both countries. From the graph, we can see that the value of exports have increased from 75 million USD in January to 1,429.8 million USD in December of 2021. Alright, the next graph beside me is to show the performance of major stocks in Asia in the year 2021. Malaysia performed the second worst amongst all the Asian countries as the stock value decreased to negative 3.7%. The downfall of the value is because of the COVID-19 restriction that prevent Malaysian citizens from going to work as usual and the change of Malaysian government. Thailand's stock value has the highest amount at 14.4%.
After explain about the investment planning, let we continue about the introduction of retirement planning. Retirement is defined as the act of completing one's working career or the time period after one's permanent termination of a job or professions. According to Malaysian labour law, the retirement age is 60 years old. Retirement planning is determining retirement income targets, activities and decisions that must be taken to achieve those objectives. Retirement planning also refers to the financial tactics of accumulating and then distributing money so that one can live well in retirement. There are several types of retirement planning. The first one is provident and pension funds. Second, employee provident funds. We call it as EPF. Third, Social Security Organization. We call it also as SOCSO. And the last one is pension planning. What is the purpose of retirement planning? The purpose of retirement planning is medical expenditure and healthcare can be paid for using retirement savings. People who have a retirement plan can incorporate their healthcare expenditure into their retirement budget without relying entirely on insurance. Aside from that, possessing long-term retirement funds will help people plan for a longer life. As a result, people should focus more on retirement planning rather than stressing about whether they have enough money in saving for the next 30 years.
Moving on, the next is the important in retirement planning. First, a retirement plan may give independent stability. According to Statistics Malaysia, Malaysian life expectancy is 75 years old. According to the study, Malaysia have a 15-year life expectancy after retirement. Essential product and living expenditure are rising every year. It will make saving and EPF insufficient for steady lifestyle after retirement, forcing people to depend on others to pay their commitment. Individual must establish a retirement plan so they may live well without relying on friends, family or children. Dependence on others is difficult since everyone has their own financial requirement and commitment. Lack of retirement preparation lead to the disappointment and reduced living standard. Secondly, retirement plan can help to cover their healthcare costs. Health is a treasure that is very important for everyone, especially for people who have reached the golden age. In addition, the older people get the higher risk of health complications they will face. In Malaysia, health problems like diabetes, hypertension, stroke and cancer are the type of illness that have been faced by most of the elders in this nation. It also requires to have a regular checkup and treatment from the healthcare system, which costs a lot of money, especially if the individual chooses to get the treatment in the private sector. Besides that, due to economic development, the healthcare sector has also been affected by inflation at an alarming rate. That it is very crucial for everybody to have a sufficient amount of money to afford better health treatment before their retirement. Thirdly, retirement plan can overcome inflation. Inflation is the price increase of goods and services. As we were aware that inflation is rising on a daily basis, The effects of inflation that appear little in the near term might be enormous over a few years. In the future, a person will have to pay more for everything, including grocery, travel, medical care, and more. In order to live without fear of inflation burden, this element can be considered during a good retirement planning, and a sufficient retirement fund can be established.
Next, we will discuss about the current issues of retirement planning. The Employees Provident Funds, or EPF, being the oldest and the largest running of retirement funds, had announced that their users are allowed to withdraw their retirement savings who are below the 55-year age cap. This was part of a government plan to support COVID-19 victims. The Finance Minister said the EPF firm has 70 billion ringgit for this effort. This will allow many of the EPF users to withdraw a maximum amount of 10,000 ringgit or 60,000 ringgit. The ICNA service will now permit persons who have lost their employment, non-receive paid leave, or are employed request for this withdrawal, making it easier. This is the first time EPF has taken this choice. EPF savings accounts withdrawals total 101 billion ringgit. This initiative will lead to them having less money than what they have after they turn 55 years of age. If individuals take the retirement funds, they won't have enough to retire comfortably. The retirement money covers their wants. According to EPF, 6.1 million donors have less than 10,000 ringgit in savings, and about 3.6 million families have less than 1,000 ringgit. This government initiative to allow individuals to spend their retirement funds may cause future issues. This is an irresponsible decision by the government, which should support pandemic victims financially. This method gives money to those who don't need it. People who needed the money will now spend it for something else. Secondly is Malaysia's low salary problem. Malaysians have among of the world's lowest earnings. To put that into its perspective, Malaysians, when compared to its closest neighbour Singapore, had earned 40% less, Indonesia at 84% less, and the Philippines at 76% less. When the typical business can pay more than 1,200 ringgit, a lower income makes no sense. MTUC President Dato' Abdul Halim Mansor said it's wrong for companies to treat workers this way. He also said that employers are responsible for creating Malaysians a debt-free, high buying power society. Malaysian employers are very conservative with their money, as only a total of 25% of Malaysia's GDP was used to pay for Malaysian employees. With this dreadful figure, it made Malaysia the most stingiest country in Southeast Asia. Malaysia's average wage is 79,000 per year. According to Statistics Malaysia, minimum pay is 19,815 per year. If Malaysian employee salaries are not enough, then there will be a lack of retirement planning for them. Also, EPF contributions are limited, which may prevent early retirement. Employees' inadequate pay forces Malaysians to search alternative occupations. This will be an issue since inflation is at an all-time high, making financial security difficult for many.
Investment planning gives one financial decision purpose and meaning by providing direction to those decisions. It enables one to gain an understanding of how the effect of one financial decision ripple through to other aspects of one financial situation. When we establish a family, it is essential for us to be able to count on the assistance of our family financially so that we can maintain a satisfactory standard of living. Our family will be able to concentrate on recovering and putting their life back together after the financial strain caused by our investment is reduced. Investing is the key to overcoming life obstacles. It's been a few months since Russia sent troops to Ukraine, and the world has changed significantly as a consequence. Multiple investors depending on issue concerns about the effect of violence on the stock market. Many investors have several assets. Consequently, a saving account is the most appropriate kind of investment because it may be used to cover unforeseen financial demands and can be of assistance during time of emergency, which we sometimes are unable to anticipate. Process of defining income objective for retirement and the necessary steps to take to reach those goals can be referred as retirement planning. When preparing for retirement, it's crucial to identify income source, assess short and long-term costs, manage assets and risks, and create a saving strategy. To know how much money will be available in retirement, anticipate future cash flow. Even though retirement planning is a lifelong affair, starting early is the best. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of people have lost their jobs and their money. The concern is that when the government decides to enable users of EPF to withdraw their retirement savings, the government move to let people utilize retirement assets will not fix their problem long term. Retirement planning help make living better after retirement. Thus, individuals should not take EPF before retirement. Last but not least is conclusion. Investing planning wisely can improve our financial well-being in the long run. It will assist us in acquiring the necessary resources to realize our goals. The purpose of investment planning is help us to think about the future financial stability. With this goal, it is possible to increase the wealth of family to improve their quality of life, also to maintain the financial position and ensure comfortable condition. It also can help achieve a financial goal. It prevents inflation and useful in emergency. It helps you see how changing one variable in your financial picture might affect other areas. So it's safe to say that consumers should prioritize financial preparation while making investment. As a result, it can ensure that investment planning is very crucial to people. In retirement planning, a person's financial security can be ensured by implementing a variety of savings, investment, and distribution strategies. There are multiple types of retirement planning, but the most common one is pension plan, which provide financial security for retirement government employees. Retirement financial independence is the prime purpose of retirement preparation. Also, retirement funds can be used to pay for medical expenses and healthcare costs. Independent life is possible with proper retirement preparation. Next, it can beat inflation. Thus, it is a compulsory plan to have a better life. It doesn't matter if your concept of a perfect retirement involves spending lots of time at home with your family and loved ones, or going off the beaten path and experiencing at a new place. You will still need money.